So this was the role of thyroxine, and now the parafollicular cells. Okay, I've already told you that the parafollicular cells are nothing but those cells which are situated in between the thyroid follicles. Okay, and that's why they are known as parafollicular cells. Okay, they are also known as C cells because they release calcitonin hormone, and this calcitonin is more precisely known as thyrocalcitonin. Okay, TCT. No, it's just mentioned in two lines in NCERT. So we need to know is that parafollicular cells is situated between the thyroid follicles, okay, and it is also called as C cell because it releases calcitonin hormone, and this calcitonin hormone is also known as thyrocalcitonin because it is related to the thyroid gland. And then this thyrocalcitonin is represented by TCT in your NCERT, okay, and the role of this calcitonin hormone is that it is hypocalcemic. Okay, hypocalcemic. Okay, what does this mean? I told you that thyroxine is calorogenic. Okay, calorogenic hormone means it does nothing but burns calories. Okay, to maintain the basal metabolic rate. What do these calcitonin hormone do? That they lower the calcium level in your blood. Okay, so if your blood is flowing and which is high in calcium, so this calcitonin hormone will be acting upon your blood, and it will suck out the calcium and deposit in on your bones. Okay, because bones are the reservoir of calcium because that's what it is made up of. So for now you can know that they hypocalcemic means it takes out the blood, it takes out the calcium from your blood and deposits it on the bone. This is the role of parafollicular cells. Okay, thyroxine was very important, T4 was important, iodine deficiency was important because iodine deficiency was the one that led to simple goiter condition, hypothyroidism. Simple goiter is a disease. Okay, what happens in goiter? The entire thyroid gland swells up. Okay, so this was all about thyroid. Okay, the thyroid tissues, stromal tissues, follicles. Okay, parafollicular cells. Okay, so this was totally about the structure and organization of the thyroid gland. Okay, now why is thyroid gland so important? Why does it play such a major role in our body? Okay, and there are just 2 to 3 bullets regarding it that you need to know, and they are very important. See, basically there are 3 important things. First was the calorogenic effect of thyroid gland. You know what is calorogenic? I already told you, burning of. I'm constantly repeating the calorogenic effect because although it's not mentioned in your NCERT, but it points out at that function of the hormone. Okay, so calorogenic effect is nothing but burning of substrates like carbohydrate, lipid, okay, protein. So to give energy in the form of heat, and that induces the basal metabolic rate of your body. Okay, so the first function of thyroid is it maintains the basal metabolic rate of your body. The basal metabolic rate of your body. Okay, because of the calorogenic effect. Second, it helps in metabolism. Obviously, if it is maintaining the metabolic rate, it will definitely induce, it will help aid into metabolic functions. Okay, this was very important. Thyroid is also related to erythropoiesis, RBC production. Okay, if the thyroid is functioning well, the production of RBCs, which is also known as erythropoiesis, will go on just fine. Okay, so it also helps the erythropoiesis, okay, the RBC production. Okay, it helps in tissue differentiation also. Like for example, in frog, it helps in tissue differentiation. Okay, it's a very important example, although not mentioned in NCERT, but you can go through it. It helps in tissue differentiation. Okay, basal metabolic rate maintain करता है, metabolism and tissue differentiation. Okay, now the very important thing is that thyroid, is the reason that you are so active throughout your day. Okay, because it is related to metabolic rate. If your metabolic rate is low, you'll feel like dizzy, lazy. Okay, and if your metabolic rate is high, you'll be active and you'll be proactive. Okay, you'll be doing things at much rapid pace than others, and obviously you'll get tired easily because you're using that much energy. But that's why thyroid is so important. Okay, it actually governs what you do throughout the day and how you do it with enthusiastically. Okay, thyroid is example, although there are other hormones which will affect, but we are talking about thyroid, so we'll just discuss about this fact, that what basic outline of what thyroid does to your body. Now, what happens if the thyroid not doesn't function well? Okay, so one thing I've told you, the basic thing which we intake iodine. Okay, the concentration of iodine lowers, it will lead to swelling of thyroid gland and will lead to simple goiter, which is a case of hypothyroidism. Okay, but there are other cases. Okay, and other factors that affect the thyroid gland. Like one of the factors can be like if a person is suffering from cancer of thyroid gland. Okay, so the cells will divide rapidly. Okay, what happens in cancer is that the tissues lack contact inhibition. Okay, contact inhibition is something we'll discuss later, but you should know these things. Okay, the words which are mentioned in NCERT are very important, so you should know basic thing. So what happens in cancer, the cells will divide rapidly, okay, at a much faster rate, and the thyroid gland will grow in size. And if the cells are increasing, if these cells are increasing in your body, so what will happen? That concentration of T4 will be affected, obviously. And what if the T4 concentration will rise? It will lead to hyperthyroidism. Okay, it will lead to hyperthyroidism. Now, now I've talked a lot about hypo and hyperthyroidism. Basically, I've talked a lot about simple goiter and continuously that iodine deficiency. Okay, but what happens if the concentration of thyroxine lowers down? Okay, and there are three cases that there are three diseases that will that will take place as a consequence of hypothyroidism. Simple goiter, iodine deficiency. Simple. Okay, that's why I mentioned it simple, because it is obviously simple, because just iodine deficiency triggers goiter. Okay, but there is the other goiter which is exophthalmic goiter, and that is mentioned in your NCERT, and it's quite important because this is the only case of hypothyroidism. Second is mixed edema or Gulf's disease. Okay, listen, cretinism happens in infants or babies, or the babies, obviously the newborn child. Okay, how does it happen? We'll talk about it. If the pregnant mother is suffering from hypothyroidism, it will affect the child. And what does it affect? It will have a stunted growth for the child. Okay, the hypothyroidism. Okay, the thyroid level is low, and it will lead to the stunted growth of the child, and that will lead to cretinism. What happens in cretinism? That IQ lowers down. IQ lowers down, mental retardation, physical retardation. So, cretinism, IQ lowers down, retardation, okay? These are the basic things that happens, okay? Cretinism, deaf mutism, okay? Deaf mutism. This is the term mentioned in your NCERT. This is very important. What is deaf mutism? It's very simple. It's just the term, that the coinage of the term that makes it a bit like what is it? But you're thinking it right. Deaf, you cannot hear. Mutism, you cannot speak. Okay, so basically the child will not speak, cannot hear, okay, as a consequence of low thyroid concentration in the pregnant mother, and IQ will be low, physical and mental retardation, deaf mutism. Okay, so the child will suffer mentally, physically, and this condition will be known as cretinism. Now, the mother that is suffering from mixed edema, or a normal lady who is suffering from mixed, or normal person who is suffering from mixed edema, is nothing but the same thing. The lower level of thyroxine in the body leads to the condition in adult known as mixed edema or Gall's disease. And if it happens in the baby as a consequence that the mother is suffering, so it will be known as cretinism. Deaf mutism is very important in cretinism. Okay, cretinism means stunted growth of the body. Okay, stunted growth of the child, and it also happens alongside low IQ, mental and physical retardation. If it happens in the adult, that is mixed edema or Gall's disease, okay, then the same consequences, the basal motive. See, if hypothyroidism, that's why I told you about hypothyroidism as a big heading, because the basic functions like BMR, erythropoiesis, everything will be affected if the thyroxine goes up or down. Okay, so these things are already being hampered. I'm discussing about the extra things that it causes, like in cretinism, low IQ again, physical and mental retardation, and deaf mutism. Okay, in adults, mixed edema or Gall's disease, same thing, lowering of BMR. Okay, you'll feel lazy, hectic. Okay, and in some cases there is like there will be, you'll feel like the body will be flubbed up, the body will increase in size, you will be fluffy. Okay, you'll feel lazy, your muscles will like be very lazy, your muscles will feel lazy. Okay, your eyeballs and all, everything will be very different, you'll feel like the person is lazy. Okay, so this is a consequence of low BMR and low thyroxine hypothyroidism. So mixed edema or Gall's disease, okay, simple goiter and cretinism are a consequence of hypothyroidism. Hyperthyroidism only deals with one thing, and that is exophthalmic goiter or Graves' disease. Okay, exophthalmic goiter or Graves' disease. So I erased this part because I needed to explain about hyperthyroidism, because this was the only disease mentioned in NCERT. So the hypothyroidism was simple. Okay, it had simple goiter. Okay, mixed edema or Gall's disease, second, which happens in adults, and if this thing happens in babies, okay, as a consequence that the lady is pregnant and thyroid concentration is low, the baby will lead into stunted cretinism, low IQ, deaf mutism, etc. Okay, mental and physical retardation also. So that was about hypothyroidism. Now hyperthyroidism, the only disease mentioned in NCERT, that's why it makes it very important. And the second thing that makes it very important is autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder, okay, we'll learn about disorders, okay, in the other chapter, but for now it is the consequence of immunity, okay, automated immunity of your own body. Your own body leads to the disease, okay, by the phenomenon of hyperthyroidism. Okay, so that's basically autoimmunity. You learn that in the chapter which is related to immunity and antibodies and everything. So exophthalmic goiters, let me explain the name and everything will be simple as well. Exophthalmic, okay, exophthalmic, this is called exophthalmic because it triggers a process which is physically evident, and that is protrusion of the eyeballs. Okay, that's why it's exophthalmia. Exophthalmia, okay, that means protrusion of the balls. You only feel like the eyeballs are coming out of your eyes. Okay, not like that in the scary movies, but still you can feel that the eyeball is protruding. Protruding means moving out of the socket, little bit out of the socket. Okay, the eyes will be out of the socket. So that's exophthalmic goiter, okay, and it is an autoimmune response of the body which causes this disorder or disease, also known as Graves' disease. Okay, name on the name of the scientist. Okay, what happens in exophthalmic goiter is obviously hyperthyroidism. It means that the level of thyroxine increases. Okay, but How does it happen? Okay, so whenever you use this term goiter, okay, whenever we use this term goiter, like simple goiter, only 2 times we use this term, but still goiter, okay, it's always in reference that the thyroid gland swells up, okay, the thyroid gland swells up, and that happens the same over here, okay. Only difference is in simple goiter, it is due to deficiency of iodine, but in exophthalmic goiter, it is due to hyperthyroidism phenomenon, okay. The difference, I'll repeat. Simple goiter, deficiency of iodine. Iodine gets down, lowering of iodine concentration, okay. And in exophthalmic goiter, the concentration of thyroxine hormone rises up, okay. That's the thing, exophthalmic goiter. Also autoimmune, very important, autoimmune, and also known as Graves' disease, okay. Now what happens in this? Okay, protrusion of eyeballs, I already told, that's why its name is exophthalmic, because exophthalmia is known as protrusion of eyeballs, okay. Second thing, unlike hypothyroidism, in this BMR increases, okay. The person will not feel lazy, okay. Like in hypothyroidism, the person was lazy, dull, and mental ability was reduced, okay. But here it's just the opposite, okay. BMR will be increased rapidly, okay. BMR will be increased rapidly because of the hormone level rises up, so BMR will be up, okay. Heart rate will be high. Heart rate will be high. So high heart rate, high BMR, increase of thyroxine hormone, and weight loss. Okay, weight loss. This is very important because it is mentioned in the NCERT, weight loss. Okay, so these are the consequences, and this is the physical evidence of exophthalmic goiter. Okay, physical evidence. It is evident. You can see a person, and if he or she has protruding eyeballs, so exophthalmic goiter can be a reason. Okay, this is a significance that it is leading to the exophthalmic goiter. Okay, obviously you'll run checks and everything to confirm the thing, but this gives you a basic idea that the person is suffering from hyperthyroidism, exophthalmic goiter. Protrusion of eyeballs is very important. It's mentioned in the NCERT, just like deaf mutism, cretinism are mentioned in the NCERT. Protrusion of eyeballs is mentioned in the NCERT. Weight loss, high heart rate, high hormone, and high BMR. So this was totally this was about thyroid gland, okay. The structure of thyroid gland, then what is situated in the thyroid gland, okay, how does it work, what are the hormones. These are the hormones which are still there. There was another cell which is known as C cell or parafollicular cells, okay, which releases thyrocalcitonin, which is a hypocalcemic. Remember, it is a hypocalcemic hormone, okay. And then I told you we'll be talking a bit about parathyroid gland, okay, because of the situation, because of its situation over here, here, and here. 4 places, okay, there are 4 places where parathyroid gland is situated. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically in one lobe of thyroid gland contains 2 parathyroid glands, okay. One lobe of thyroid gland contains 2 parathyroid glands, but the entire thyroid gland, means the 2 lobes of thyroid gland contain 4 parathyroid glands. So basically there are total 4 parathyroid glands in our body. Okay, location at the back side, at the dorsal side of thyroid gland. Okay, at the back they are present. This is the thyroid gland, they'll be present at the back. Now parathyroid number is 4, okay, and it releases parathormone. Okay, parathormone. Like one hormone we discussed was, see, what are the hormones we discussed? Thyroxine, majorly thyroxine. There was T3 as well, but tetraiodothyronine, known as thyroxine, was very important. Okay, major regulator. And then what other was TCT, thyrocalcitonin, which was secreted by the parafollicular cells. Okay. And then we have the third hormone, which is of another gland, but we'll still include it in it, parathormone. Why I am discussing a bit about the parathyroid gland is the reason because it releases this hormone, and this hormone acts antagonistic to the hormone which parafollicular cells were secreting. Okay, antagonistic to thyrocalcitonin. How antagonistic means opposite in function. Okay, different functions, opposite functions. So thyrocalcitonin hormone was responsible for hypocalcemia. Okay, less calcium in blood. But this hormone of this parathyroid gland, means parathormone, does opposite. It helps in hypercalcemic hormone. What it does, this is bone. Okay, so this hormone acts on this bone, takes out calcium and puts it into the blood. Okay, hypercalcemia means high level of calcium in the blood, which is why is it happening? Because of this hormone. So the calcium, it will take the calcium from this bone and it will put it in the blood. Calcium from this bone, put it into the, so consequently, as a consequence, the calcium level in blood will raise very high. Okay, and that's why this leads to hypercalcemia. Okay, this is a phenomena. So basically this is a cross and check system of the body. Like the follicular cells, the thyrocalcitonin is hypocalcemic. It does the opposite. Okay, opposite. It takes out calcium from the blood and deposits on the bone. And this hormone, what it does, it takes out the calcium from the bone and deposits it into the blood. Okay, so basically always remember the hypocalcemia and hypercalcemia. Both are related to the amount of calcium in blood. So when is it hypo? It means the level of calcium in the blood is low, and hypocalcemic hormone is always thyrocalcitonin. So it will be responsible for hypocalcemia, and this is this parathormone does the opposite. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, this might seem a bit complicated because it is, but you just have to remember that thyrocalcitonin released by parafollicular cells is hypocalcemic hormone, and parathormone, which is secreted by parathyroid gland, is hypercalcemic. So hypercalcemic matlab it will take out calcium from bone and it will put it in the blood, and hypocalcemic मतलब thyrocalcitonin मतलब वो blood से calcium level कम करेगा और वो bone पे deposit कर देगा. बस इतनी सी बात है. That's why parathyroid was important, and because of this there will be a condition known as osteoporosis, which is important because this is I'll not put it here, but you should know osteoporosis means there will be pores inside the bone because the calcium is constantly moving out of the this bone, and this will not happen in normal conditions. When abnormal conditions of this hormone, it will lead to osteoporosis. So parathyroid gland will get into another lecture, but this was thyroid, and the entire board was not the description of thyroid gland, but the important points that are asked, okay, in any of the examination, and that is a simple way to master the NCERT, that you get on to the points, basic things which are mentioned, basic words, keywords. So I'll just repeat the basic keywords. There was this T4, okay, this was very important, thyroxine. Okay, I forgot to tell one thing, that if you take out one iodine atom from T4, so it will get into T3. Okay, and there were two more points which I had to tell, that the thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland of the body. Largest gland of the body is liver. Largest endocrine gland of the body is thyroid gland, and this thyroid hormone is a derivative of tyrosine amino acid. Tyrosine amino acid. Thyroxine is a derivative of tyrosine amino acid. And then there was hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is erased from the board. And then hypothyroidism related with simple goiter, deficiency of iodine, mixed edema or Gall's disease, low level of thyroid hormone. This is thyroxine inside the adult. And if it happens in the baby, then it is known as cretinism. Cancer of cells can increase the cells of your thyroid. It will grow in size and it will lead to hyperthyroidism, obviously. So this is hyperthyroidism, very important autoimmune disorder. Graves' disease, known as Graves' disease. Protrusion of eyeballs is a physical significance of this disease. BMR increases, okay, hormone increases, heart rate increases, and weight loses down. Okay, this is very important. Weight loses down. So, and then there was parathyroid, hypercalcemic hormone. Okay, and this was the entire lecture on thyroid gland, and every point of NCERT has been discussed in this video lecture. Hope you like it, and thank you for watching.